The next AI phase is not going to focus on NVIDIA, Micron, SK Hynix. All of those are fantastic stocks. I own them. What I want to talk to you about is the next major phase of AI as far as from an investing standpoint that you need to be looking at. And that is electrical power production. It is the electricity that will fuel all of these massive AI initiatives and AI data centers. And I'm going to give you 5 stocks that you need to look at as far as possible ones that you need to think about adding to your AI stock portfolio. And we're going to jump into that right now. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Definitely subscribe because I'm building a community here where I'm trying to help you guys make more money in AI and tech stocks. Okay, so the next AI winners are going to be powering the AI revolution, because essentially what it comes down to is we have all of these AI data centers that are being built for either the hyperscalers and or the AI compute needs for large companies out there, General Motors, Ford, what have you, right? So the next phase of AI is not about chips and memory. Yes, that's all part of the equation, and we've talked about that. But I want to focus you on another one, and it is another bottleneck that is coming because, quite frankly, there's not enough AI electrical compute power, if you will, electricity production right now to service the need. So there's more that has to be built. Key there being a bottleneck. Okay. So the key here is that AI demand is shifting the bottleneck to electricity. What I just said over here on the far left-hand side, key takeaways and infrastructure. That is the next major wave of AI winners. And I'm going to give you 5 of those companies here in just a minute. So data centers require massive, reliable power 24/7. Think of it. These companies and their products. Think of ChatGPT. Think of Anthropic with Claude, so forth and so on. Those are just a few examples. They have to be up and running 24/7. So these power production facilities cannot go offline. So that's driving demand for nuclear, natural gas, and on-site power solution. That's kind of the 3: nuclear, natural gas, and on-site power. And I would add into that coal as well. And there's definitely coal plants out there that are being contracted for AI power production. So hyperscalers are signing long-term power contracts. They are, right? We know this. They continue to do this. I have a friend of mine who actually works for Vistra, one of the largest nuclear power plant owning companies out there. And he and I've talked about it. He said, like, Amazon built a huge data center next door to one of their nuclear power plant production facilities here in Texas. So bottom line, from power generation to grid equipment, all of this is part of the equation. On-site solutions. So the entire energy ecosystem is power creation, it's grid equipment, and then there's on-site solutions. So there's kind of 3 sectors of power, of electrical demand, right? So investors should look beyond semiconductors and focus on the companies that are enabling the AI infrastructure build out. Okay. So we're not talking about the real sexy stuff anymore, like NVIDIA and Micron and SK Hynix. You should own those because those are all still obviously relevant to the discussion, but this is an area you need to focus on and look at as well. So middle column here, the big picture. If you think about it, you've got why energy matters for AI. We need reliable 24/7 power. AI workloads run nonstop. Nuclear and natural gas provide the dependable baseload power that data centers need. Long-term revenue. These energy companies are locking in multi-year contracts, and their respective stock prices are showing that. There's massive growth opportunity. U.S. power demand is projected to surge over the next decade. In fact, there is not enough electrical power being produced at this moment to fuel and provide all that electrical power, compute power that's needed. So more of these facilities have to be built. Just like, Micron, SK Hynix, things of this nature that are building more fabrication facilities. So the AI revolution will be powered by electricity. Always remember that. And the company that provides it could be the next giants. Okay, so this is the 5 stocks that I now want to focus you on as far as opportunities that are in this particular sector. And we'll now move over to the right here. So the top 5 energy stocks with their tickers and PE ratios that are positioned to power the AI boom. So the first one we're going to talk about is Vistra. I mentioned it earlier. Vistra is one of the largest nuclear and natural gas leaders out there. And so if we take a look at their stock, currently trading at $147, up 1% today. And on the 1 month, actually, so right there, down 7.67%. Okay, so again, an opportunity there in the last month as far as like if you were to buy it today. Ticker is VST, strong Texas footprint, attractive valuation, PE ratio 17.1x. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is Constellation Energy right there. Ticker is CEG, PE ratio 24, largest nuclear U.S. fleet, long-term power contracts with hyperscalers. Again, Vistra has those as well. Clean, reliable 24/7 power. Okay, so Constellation currently trading right now at 283. You can see that. Ticker is CEG. And if we look at the 1 month for them, they are down 0.0. Excuse me. I apologize. I hadn't loaded yet. My apologies. CEG is up about 10% on the 1 month chart. Okay. Moving on, GE Vernova. So what they do is they say they basically sell power grid or grid equipment, right? Sells turbines, grid, power equipment. Ticker is GEV. PE ratio 53x. Essential pick and shovel play for AI infrastructure. Massive order backlog. Okay, let's take a look at GEV. So currently right now up 1% on the 1 day and on the 1 month. Let it load real quickly. It is essentially flat on 0.67. It's up right there. All right. The last one is one of my favorites, Bloom Energy. Ticker is BE. They're at the very bottom there. 208x PE ratio. They are on-site power for data centers. So this is another scenario that not all of these data centers and these AI compute facilities are being built next to, say, nuclear plants or gas, natural gas plants, right? They are, there's a massive demand for on-site power. Bloom Energy is the main key player in that. Okay, so let's take a look at them. So right now on the daily, they're up 2.6%, trading at $242. And on the 1 month, they are, excuse me, essentially flat on the 1 month, but I've looked already at the 1 year, significant gains over the 1 year, up 435+%. So remember, we're looking at this on a go forward basis. So yes, I know some of these PE ratios are exceedingly high. Some of them are not. Some of them are very old, traditional nuclear energy power, production facilities like Vistra and Constellation Energy, as well as NRG. But we've got a grid equipment manufacturer. We've got an on-site power. I think a little diversification as far as adding this into your portfolio doesn't look bad here. I think that these are not going to be necessarily, maybe outside of Bloom, these massive high flyers where they're going to deliver you, 100+%. In fact, let's look at that real quickly. Let's take a look at Vistra on the 1 year right here. So on the 1 year, Vistra is down 24%. So that's one that you might want to look at. It's been beat up, obviously, on the 1 year. We'll take a look at CEG, Constellation Energy, on the 1 year, down 11%. So maybe some opportunity there. Again, you're buying them at the low. You're looking at these from an opportunity of like, okay, no one's really talking about power production, electrical production right now, as far as kind of the AI infrastructure. Yes, it's mentioned, but I think that not all eyes have started looking at these as of yet. It's not as hyped, if you will, as say Micron or SK Hynix. Let's take a look at NRG on the 1 year, down like 15.6%. You can see that right there. GEV Supernova on the 1 year will be up 71%. But again, not an electrical power production company. This is grid equipment, things of this nature, kind of the picks and shovels play, if you will. And then we've already done the 1 year on Bloom Energy. It's up 435%. So definitely a diversified kind of look across the different types of AI electrical companies. You have energy production, you have grid equipment, and then you have kind of on-site power production from Bloom. Okay, so take a look at all these and run them through your own due diligence. I like all of these. I think that all of these are very interesting ones that you should be looking at as far as maybe adding into your portfolio. Again, opportunity I think is here. I think some of them are definitely beat up as far as the 1 year, especially Vistra and Constellation. So take a look at them. I will see you later. Thanks for giving me a few minutes. Take care.